Hello and welcome back to the Allan Kardec USA channel, where we discuss the doctrine of Spiritism as codified in his writings by Allan Kardec and how God's plan of reincarnation plays a role in our lives. My name is Ciso. Today we will continue with the fifth and final topic of the reincarnation series of videos, countries and religions that believe in reincarnation. Socrates and Plato spoke of reincarnation. I should be clear that while this video will end this particular series, surely there will be further discussions on the subject in future videos. Listen carefully to this. Recent studies have shown that more than half of the population of this world that we live on, more than half of all people in the world, believe in reincarnation. That is mind-boggling when you think about that. More than half of all humans in existence today believe in souls leaving the body after death and returning to a new body. A cycle that continues until the soul of our body has reached perfection. This would mean that in just about every country in the world, there are populations that believe in reincarnation. In some countries more than others.
There's a lot more people on this planet who believe in past lives than don't.
That was Robin Williams in the 1991 movie Dead Again. He said there's a lot more people on this planet who believe in past lives than don't. He was stating a fact. One recent report shows that 51% of the world's population believes in reincarnation. And if you read the report, you will see how that doesn't mean that the other 49% do not believe in it. As 26% say they don't know what will happen after death. In other words, maybe we reincarnate and maybe we don't. They don't know. The remaining 23% have a strong belief that nothing happens after death. We just die and cease to exist. And that belief in reincarnation includes many living here in the United States. And this goes back to the beginning when this country was founded. People like Benjamin Franklin, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison all believed in reincarnation. Benjamin Franklin wrote, "When I see nothing annihilated in the works of God, and not a drop of water wasted, I cannot suspect the annihilation of souls, or believe that He, God, will suffer the daily waste of millions of minds ready-made that now exist, and put Himself to the continual trouble of making new ones, making new souls. Thus, finding myself to exist in the world, I believe I shall, in some shape or other, always exist. And with all the inconveniences human life is liable to, I shall not object to a new edition of mine, a new edition of me. Hoping, however, that the errata, his flaws or mistakes, of the last existence may be corrected." Henry Ford, who created the first automobiles, the first cars that most average Americans can afford, had wrote this: "I adopted the theory of reincarnation when I was 26 years old. Religion offered nothing to the point. Even work could not give me complete satisfaction. Work is futile if we cannot utilize the experience we collect in one life in the next. When I discovered reincarnation, it was as if I had found a universal plan. I realized that there was a chance to work out my ideas. Time was no longer limited. I was no longer a slave to the hands of the clock. Genius is experience. Some seem to think that it is a gift or talent, but it is the fruit of long experience in many lives. Some are older souls than others, and so they know more. The discovery of reincarnation put my mind at ease. If you preserve a record of this conversation, write it so that it puts men's minds at ease. I would like to communicate to others the calmness that the long view of life gives us." Thomas Edison, if you haven't heard of him by now, was an inventor. He was the man who gave us electric light bulbs, sound recordings, you know, what you hear on records or a CD player, film recordings. So without Edison, there would be nothing on TV or at the movies. There would be no TV or movie theaters. The list of his inventions are many. Well, it may be fair to assume that if we didn't have Thomas Edison, eventually someone else might have invented those things. While he never made it clear that he believed in reincarnation, sources state that in the year 1878, Edison briefly associated with a society where he discussed science and technology and mysticism with their leader, Madame Helena Blavatsky, who did teach reincarnation. Madame Blavatsky stated that the law of reincarnation was governed by karma, which is basically what Spiritism teaches us. The report further states that Edison left the group and later denied ever associating with them. I don't know why. But these experiences got him thinking about different Eastern religious ideas, particularly reincarnation. Thomas Edison even tried to invent a machine to communicate with spirits. In one report he wrote, "I have been at work for some time building an apparatus to see if it is possible for personalities which have left this earth to communicate with us. If this is ever accomplished, it will be accomplished not by any occult, mystifying, mysterious, or weird means, such as are employed by so-called mediums, but by scientific methods. If what we call personality exists after death, and that personality is anxious to communicate with us who are still in the flesh on this earth, there are 2 or 3 kinds of apparatus which should make communication very easy. I am engaged in the construction of one such apparatus now, and I hope to be able to finish it before very many months pass." Now, of course, in our day and age, we don't know of such a machine in existence. So it's safe to say that the ghost phone, as it would later be called, was never truly created, since we don't see it in stores or anywhere. General George S. Patton was a general in the United States Army who commanded troops during World War II and achieved many victories during that time. Apparently, his belief in reincarnation was so well known that a book, shown here on Amazon's website, was published about it. Here it states that General Patton was a firm believer in reincarnation. Not only did he believe he had lived many lifetimes in earlier periods of history, but he also believed he would reincarnate once again after his death. Ancient Greeks believed that a pre-existent soul survives bodily death and is later reincarnated in a human or other mammalian body, eventually receiving release from the cycle of birth and death and regaining its former pure spirit. While Spiritism teaches us that we do not reincarnate back as animals, it does teach the pure state that will eventually be reached, purification of the soul, of our spirit. Plato, in the 5th to 4th century BC, believed in an immortal soul that participates in frequent incarnations. Plato said that even after his death, the soul exists and is able to think. He believed that as bodies die, the soul is continually reborn. Metempsychosis, it was called, in subsequent bodies. Near the end of his life, it is told that Socrates had said, "I am confident that there truly is such a thing as living again, that the living spring from the dead, and the souls of the dead are in existence." Major religions that hold the belief in reincarnation are mostly Asian religions, especially Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. They all hold in common a doctrine of karma, the law of cause and effect, which states that what one does in this present life will have an effect in that soul's next life. There are quite a few branches of Judaism, the Hebrew or Jewish religion, that teach reincarnation, and rabbis will speak about it to their congregations.
When we talk about reincarnation of souls, we're not talking about the spark of the soul, or the divine quality of the soul, or the energy of the soul surviving and reincarnating. We're talking about the reincarnation of self. So the first thing that we have to understand is, what is the definition of self? What makes me me and you you? So we have to, in order to understand processes of souls reincarnating, we really have to get to the bottom of what is the definition of self, who are we, what is our purpose, which is, in the Hebrew word is atikun, what is our correction? And once we understand who we are in the present, we'll get a glimpse of what it really means to live eternally. Not in an afterlife, but even internally in the present moment. And to understand the processes of reincarnation into the next life.
Now, if you know what reincarnation is, you'll know that that person is born, passes away, and reborn again. The soul transmigrates. It goes from one body that passes away and goes to another one that lives again. Do Jews believe in it? Well, yes and no. Yes, by the fact that most Jewish authorities believe in it, but some, like Rabbi Sadia Gaon, do not. But if you go through most of the literature, you'll see that Gilgul Neshama, as it's called in Hebrew, the transmigration of soul, is something that's accepted by most of Jewish authorities.
Now, while what I said earlier about how more than half of the world's population have a belief in reincarnation, it is less so in certain countries, including here in the United States. One paragraph in Wikipedia states, demographic survey data from 1999 to 2002 shows a significant minority of the people in Europe, only 22%, and America, only 20%, believe in the existence of life before birth and after death, leading to a physical rebirth. The belief in reincarnation is particularly high in the Baltic countries, with Lithuania having the highest figure for the whole of Europe, 44%, while the lowest figure is in East Germany, 12%. A quarter, 25%, however, of United States Christians, including 10% of all born-again Christians, do embrace the idea of reincarnation. One theory holds that there would be a lot more people in this country, in the United States, accepting the logical concept of reincarnation if it were not for factors strongly opposing it, such as large religious organizations strongly battling any ideas of reincarnation from people's thoughts. This will complete the final topic on this series on reincarnation, but as I said earlier, the subject will surely continue well into the future. Be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you are alerted when the next video is uploaded. Please share your comments, or if you would like to write to me personally, I can be reached at kardecusa@gmail.com. My name is Ciso. Have a blessed day.